Before I get started with this production, this petty Pendergrass production, let me give a shout out to Caressa B. Knight for sending me this story. Now, I usually don't do prematurely petty Pendergrass productions. Usually I wait for the outcome, and if it's the one we want, then I will go ahead and do it. But it's a little change in pace with this one, because I called this months ago. Lori Loughlin is currently having regrets of pleading not guilty in the role that she played in the college admission scandal. You know, her and her husband are the only two lames that have decided to go against what their peers have done and plead not guilty. They have looked at everyone else, plead not guilty, and see them get off with these light so-called sentences. Hell, the last one I talked about, he only got 1 day in jail. Felicity Huffman, a slap on the wrist. I don't know what she's getting, but it's going to be a slap on the wrist. She and her husband were the only two that decided to plead not guilty, and I called it months ago. I'm going to give myself a pat on the back. I can't give myself a round of applause because I'm currently holding the mic in my hand. Because I said that Lori Loughlin and her husband are dumb as hell if they stick with this not guilty plea. I said, if you see everyone else around you, all the rest of your cohorts pleading guilty and seeing them get these light sentences to almost no sentences, is what it seems like, what made you think you were going to be the different one out the group? And then on top of that, you were one of the people that they kept out there in the media when this was really at its height. You and Felicity Huffman. But now you really don't hear about Felicity Huffman anymore because she played it smart and pleaded guilty. Now you're going to be standing out there by yourself because you pleaded not guilty. I told people that by her pleading not guilty, there was a very strong chance that she would most likely get time behind bars, because they were not going to just let her walk away from this unscathed unless she pleaded guilty. But she felt so confident and so arrogant that she was going to walk from this, that she and her husband pleaded not guilty. And I said, y'all are dumb as hell. Now y'all know, if they get any type of jail time, I am definitely going to be doing another petty Pendergrass production involving her and her husband. You do know that, right? Like I said, I never do these prematurely because I always like to wait for the outcome. But the reason I'm doing it is because I called it. I knew she was going to regret this. I bet she wishes she took it back now. She tried to do the moral thing and say, I'm a plead not guilty. Like, are you dumb? They have so much evidence against you, it's not even funny. I want to know what made her think that she was going to just walk away from this after pleading not guilty. Like, if you saw everyone else pleading guilty and they got these slaps on the wrist and these light sentences and these little fines, what made yours any different? Like, if you saw theirs progressively moving in the direction that they wanted it to and yours is at a standstill, like, what were you thinking? And I don't know what lawyer she has, but I can only assume that maybe her lawyer's shaking his or her head like, are you sure you want to go with this? Because they have a lot on you, and you pleading not guilty is probably not the best thing to do. But she stuck to her guns. Like, I've done stories about this. She stuck to her guns and was convinced that she would get a light sentence. No, that's not how it works. That just shows you right there she doesn't know how this system works. That's why they call it a plea deal for a reason. But in order for you to take the plea deal, or get the plea deal, I should say, you have to plead guilty. But see, she didn't want that on her record. That's what all that is. But guess what? By her pleading not guilty, she's going to get the sentence. Hell, it may not even be as long as it should be, but it is going to be a sentence for her. I'll be pleasantly surprised if she actually walks away from this. Now, some people are going to say, now, Taurean, you shouldn't be surprised if she does. But the reason I'm saying it is because now she regrets it. She might be feeling the sting now, because they probably going to drop the gauntlet on her. Between her and the ringleader, well, it's no point in him. No matter what he pleads, he's going to get what he's going to get. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting for the both of them, her husband included. She's probably gonna get more though because she's the more known individual. But hey, it is what it is. If she gets thrown into the clink, it'll be because of her own dumbassery. Y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I will talk to you in the next one. And oh, by the way, I chose this image right here because I'm assuming this is how she's looking at all her peers just skate on by, and she realizes that her future is pretty dim.